Hello there and welcome. Hello. No. There's no sound live now. For some reason, every single thing is back. That's why I just kept it simple. I just want that, and I want the audio from it. Right, plan B. And okay. Oh, isn't technology a wonderful thing? I tell you what, mastering those skills will get you a fantastic career in whatever you want to do. So thank you for bearing with us. Obviously, the edit will tidy this up and it looks seamless from day one, which I think is an important thing to always remember. You can go and re-edit history. But luckily, I didn't want to miss today. I didn't want to say, oh, that's enough, it's not working, and wander off and go, I can't do this, because sometimes life's hard. Sometimes you just have to put up with it and go for it. And today, I've got a fantastic guest. I've got Jasper Maudsley, who many of you saw on the videos that we made earlier, and he's a franchisee for McDonald's, and he's going to explain a little bit about that. And then I've got some fantastic questions today, because the people who from Catcote, the students who've sent in some questions, they knew Jasper was coming in, so they've really made them specific to getting a job at McDonald's as well. So, hi Jasper.
Hi there.
Tell me a little bit then about what it is that you do then as a franchisee.
Well, as a franchisee, I started off McDonald's in 1982, January 11th. I'll never forget that day. And I worked my way up through the company. I spent 16 years working for McDonald's, and then ran the Yorkshire North East market, TV markets, and had about 80 plus restaurants that I looked after. I then was given the opportunity to be a franchisee, which I jumped at. I started with 3 at Sunderland, Washington, and Wessington Way, and that was back on the 30th of May 1998.
You remember it well.
I remember it well, yeah. And since then I've been able to get another 7 stores. So I've currently got 10, 3 in Hartlepool, 4 in Sunderland, Dalton Park, and 2 at Washington.
Fantastic. So you can see how you've built up a business. So people often think you go in and you're just a businessman, but you actually take time and you worked in another for somebody else first, develop those skills, and then once you had those skill set, you could apply it to your own business.
That's correct, yeah. And I did, believe it or not, I did a degree at Newcastle Polytechnic, as it were, in those days, in business studies and management, which helped as well on that.
Education's a good thing, obviously. Very much so, yeah. So you obviously employ quite a range of different people at McDonald's, different roles in the crew. What sort of roles for someone like a school leaver who wants to go straight into the world of work rather than going on to other things yet? And I know there's opportunities even once they're working. But what sort of roles are entry-level roles then?
Well, the entry-level roles are basically being a crew member, or working in the dining area, or being a delivery person who takes the deliveries in. We get 4 deliveries a week, so they put those away type thing. So that there are a few entry levels, but there are fantastic opportunities within McDonald's to progress.
That's fantastic. It's good to know. And I had the pleasure of coming and meeting some of your crew a few weeks ago. Obviously, all socially distanced and such like. And so one of the students, ex-Catcote student, who's working there now. Fantastic opportunity for them.
That's Kim Waring.
Kim, very much so. Yeah, Kim. Who I think was interviewed today by some other students in the room as well. Okay, so I've got some questions here. I'm gonna go through them in terms of the way that they've posted them to me.
No problem.
And they're all from Catcote, which is great. So Declan asks, what age were you when you started working for McDonald's?
I started working at the age of 23.
Okay.
And that was, as I've already said, on 11th of January 1982. So canny few years ago.
You can work out how old he is now. So did you have a job before McDonald's, or was that college?
I got my first job at 14, working in a bakery, and I stayed there for 9 years. So I left there on the Thursday and joined McDonald's on the Monday. But it was a part-time job while I was at school, all school holidays, and then when I was at Polytechnic I used to come home at weekends and work there. So they were fantastic for me. So really, in all terms, I've only done 3 jobs. I had one other over summer as well once, and that's it.
Okay. But you can see the skills that probably start off in the bakery to do with the food and hospitality fed through as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, you learn skills as you grow up type of thing, right? But yes, it's working with people, and we're very much a people business, because without people or without staff, we're absolutely nothing.
Okay. That's important to know. So many jobs are like that. Those people skills are really, really important. So what time on a typical day, and I don't know, this probably isn't a typical day, what time would you normally start work and would you finish work?
Well, as you've rightly said there's no typical day within McDonald's, even for myself as the managing director or franchisee of the company, right? I like to get in first in the office. I'm working in the office, so I'll get in the office for about 8 and then leave about 5:30. But some days I'll go in at 6 because then there's nobody about, and then still work till 5:30. But that's a great thing about owning your own business. You can work as long as you want, and you have to as well. Believe you.
You tend to find you work longer hours, isn't it?
Without doubt, without doubt. But I think people accept that and they like it because they know that you're inspired to get on, and some people follow you and copy you in that sense. So they want to work longer as long as it's beneficial for them. And we look after our people in a great way.
Yeah, it's almost like a family side of things. So you answered that question about what time you start and finish. What about your employees?
Right. Because of the current restrictions and COVID and such, I don't have any 24-hour restaurants currently, but we do. Prior to COVID, we had 3 restaurants, one at Burn Road in Hartlepool, Roker Retail Park and Peel Retail Park in Washington, and they're open 24-hour, and we only close them and I make sure this happens every year, we close them on Christmas Day. But other than that, they'll close around about 10 o'clock on Christmas Eve and not open till 7 o'clock on Boxing Day. But that's the only day a 24-hour restaurant would close.
Wow. So it's shift work, isn't it? People
it is shift working through the night. But currently, I don't have any restaurants open any later than midnight.
Okay. Skills and qualities. You've touched on them a little bit about being people skills. What are the key ones? If you had to bullet point those for...
If I had to bullet point key skills for people, enthusiasm, working with people, wanting to get on, an ability to treat people like you'd like to be treated yourself. I think that's one of the key skills that people have to have.
Fantastic, and it's one that you can immediately relate to. Doesn't matter who you are.
Without doubt, yeah. I mean, you're going into a restaurant. If you were going out and paying for an expensive meal, you'd want to be, the service needs to be fast and efficient. Quality of food needs to be good. Cleanliness of the restaurant, and that's all what McDonald's is: QS&C, quality, service, and cleanliness.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? So, I'm going to ask you this question. I know the answer, but I want to hear a little bit behind it. Do you enjoy your job?
Do I enjoy my job? I absolutely love it. As I say, I'll have been at McDonald's 40 years this coming January type of thing. And every day is different. And it's just working with people and working with young people and seeing them progress through the system, which is the most enthusiastic point for me and what I really enjoy.
That's fantastic. So how many, across all your restaurants, how many employees are there?
As of Monday, we had 912 employees that are hourly paid and 37 that are on a salary, and they're the salaried managers within the restaurant and the people that work in the office as well.
So somebody's asking, so those questions were from Leah, but Sophie asked the question, is there actually an age restriction or a restriction to becoming a manager, or is it just...
There's no age restriction to becoming a manager. There's an age restriction to starting. You must be of school leaving age, which for this year is July the 1st.
Okay.
And you must be obviously allowed to leave school.
Not locked up in there.
Yeah.
But then, obviously then, from that point of view, employing the skills you've spoken about, if you're really enthusiastic, you put yourself out there, you work hard, you can progress up that ladder, at a rate, I suppose.
Well, we'll put it this way. All my managers started as hourly paid.
Okay.
All the salaried business managers who run the restaurant started as hourly paid, while they're either at school or at college.
Wow,
or at university. One was at university and came and joined us, and then as soon as she got the degree, she came and joined us. So these people are starting at 16, and I have one girl who's now started as part-time at 16. She's now 25 and she's running a £5 million restaurant.
That's fantastic.
With over 150 staff.
But she really knows that business because she's worked
inside out, worked her way up that way, loved it, and then started with us, saw the career aspirations. The strange thing about this person is her father's actually works with us as well, and he's a business manager as well at the store down the road 3 miles away. So it's they've helped each other out along the way, I'll tell you that. That's
fantastic. I'm just going to adjust these. I've had some information from one of the schools. Just if we can turn that up a little bit, hopefully that'll pick it up. Because normally you're not. I wouldn't describe you as quiet. Normally,
No.
you can always pick you up from a room. But hopefully that'll help a little bit. Right. So in terms of like holiday pay and other benefits, if you work for a company like McDonald's, what sort of things that do you?
Well, you get the standard statutory holiday pay, which is 4 weeks plus the 8 bank holidays. So overall, you get 28 weeks. Sorry, it would be nice if it was 28 weeks. You get 28 days a year. The other benefits are you get supplied with a uniform, and that's free. You get free meals while you're at work. You get an employee discount card, which allows you discounted meals when you're in the restaurant and such for 2 people. And there's various other online, where they can go online and save money via our discount schemes. So there's lots of health, PPP, AXA PPP, stuff like that. Pension, you join.
So it's like an insurance if you're
yeah. So there's lots of benefits to working, and you're working for a great company, and I think that's a great benefit. And what people don't see about one of the benefits is you're working with people, and you get to know them. I mean, on that, there's a lot of marriages happening within McDonald's type thing, and I'm one of them.
Right.
In that sense. But no, it's the actual teamwork which is a great thing. You form part of the team and work alongside those. And when people start with us, we buddy you up with somebody for 3 weeks, so you can learn the ropes, and you've just got that one person who will train you over that period of time.
I suppose that's kind of one of the worries when you're going into a new job. You don't know the job. You've got the job. You've passed the interview, but actually that first few, what if I make a mistake? Actually having a buddy is a really helpful.
Well, that's the whole idea, and they'll tell you make mistakes. I mean, I've been in nearly 40 years. I'm still making mistakes. I'm still learning all the time, right? So from that aspect, we're expecting you to make mistakes. We don't want you to, but we do expect them type of thing. And it's part of learning on that.
Really important. Byron asks, what's the very best thing about working at McDonald's?
The people we employ, and seeing them progress through the system, and realising that I've got 900 people and I'm giving them a job. It's just a fantastic feeling. But it's although we sell hamburgers, etc., it's really a people business. And that's a great thing about it. Seeing people progress, seeing people enjoy the job, seeing them being happy in the job as well. It's just a fantastic feeling. That's what motivates me every day.
Well, I'm going to now going to challenge you then. If you could change one thing about McDonald's, and you can blame Byron for this question.
No.
Okay, if you could change one thing, what would it be?
We're too much reliant on IT. We've got to move forward as a company.
I can sympathise.
And IT, we have a lot of problems with it. So because we've got so many screens in the store, if the screens go down, we can't serve you and then have to close. Whereas most stores, because they're not dependent totally on screens, can carry on. That would be one thing I'd change. But if we could get better technology, that's what I'd change. But other than that, nothing. Because we're very progressive, and you'll see us progress. We're already looking at new things for the future and everything.
So in a sense, like a lot of businesses, you're always changing. You're always saying that doesn't, and trying to improve.
Without doubt, and I've just been in a meeting there with a 3-year plan and seen some of the new designs for the new stores, and we'll get refurbed into those new designs as well. So it's really exciting on what's happening, and the product that we're going to be doing soon as well, which is very exciting as well, and it'll bring different types of customers in, and they'll have the McDonald's experience.
Fantastic, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing those myself now. Olivia, oh crikey, she's asking a whole range of fantastic questions. In fact, Olivia, who's on some of the videos. So, do you get to source any things like locally for your restaurants, or is it a centralised system that you? Because
of the amount of product we use, it has to be centralised. If you can imagine the size of the county of Kent in southern England, all the fields dotted around the UK are currently doing potatoes for our fries, and they're all done at McCain's at Scarborough. Wow. So that gives you some.
Not too far away then, as well.
Not too far away, but in that sense, from a local point of view, the window cleaners etc. are all local and such like that. And we obviously hire the local people, but for produce, because of the scale of it, you can't do that. I'll just give you an example. If we were to put rocket lettuce in a sandwich, we'd take 10% of the UK market straight away, just overnight. So, that's
big operation.
It's huge scale. It's huge scale in that sense. Yes. So
I'm gonna follow on with some of her questions. I think you've touched on this a little bit, but how's it as a manager? I think sometimes the impression is when you're not the manager, when you're the bottom of the tree, you sort of think, oh, it's all right for them to just stand around telling everyone what to do. But actually, there's a pressure there, isn't there? There's a responsibility.
You've got the responsibility of scheduling, how many people running your store and scheduling the shifts to their availability. You've got the pressure of ordering all the product to come in and make sure it's available all the time, that all the equipment's working, type of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure on it, and people will see me standing about in restaurants, but all the time I'm analysing how we can do it better, what we need to do to get it better, how do we serve that quick customer faster, what improvements can I make so people aren't running all over the place to get product, can I bring it nearer to them and everything. So all the time you're analysing in that way, but it's part and parcel of the job. That's, as I say, it changes every day.
But
2 days are the same.
She's also followed up with that, which might come out. She said, why have ice cream sundaes been taken off the menu? It's clearly her favourite.
No, that's it. They were taken off the menu over 2 years ago because there wasn't the demand for them. And the other problem we have is on hot days, some of the equipment can't cope with the demand. Right,
ice cream machines is mentioned here.
Could be, and you're correct there. They've only got a certain capacity, like anything else. It's just like a car. If you want to do 150 miles, it's only got a speedometer to 100. You can only do it that way, type of thing. So, and that's the same with us. It takes time to produce it, and if we can't produce it and it can't cool down effectively, you don't get a quality product. So that was one of the reasons for taking Sundays off.
Okay,
and I do apologise.
So on individuals, but it's customer led, isn't it? Like you say, you're responding to customers.
It's always customer led, and you'll hear about the meat-free burger and all that, right? We're going to a McPlant product very soon. It'll be trialled next year, and if the trials are successful, we'll roll it out next year.
Yeah. So again, responding to customer demand and changing.
Without doubt.
I'm going to get back to the sort of the focus around that in the getting the job and such like there as well. And I think you touched on it in the interview I did with you. But how if I went online, you start the application through your website, don't you?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
You go there. I fill in that form, and that takes an hour or whatever it is. How long's the process? Do I have an interview a few weeks later?
Right. You go online on the ORS system, online recruitment system, and then on there's a psychometric test. If you pass that psychometric test, it tells the store that you've passed. And then from there, we'll set up an interview date, right? And prior to COVID, we used to do face-to-face interviews so we could see you, etc., etc. Now they're done online or via Zoom, if you have the Zoom or meetings, team meetings, Microsoft Team meetings capability type thing. Mm-hmm. It's done that way, but you can interview to start within a week. We have no problem. We're very fast at processing that because each manager sets aside an interview time per week, and they'll got certain slots, and in that slot they'll interview you. Because you might be at school at one stage, but you can take the 4 o'clock spot, so you'd do the 4 o'clock spot. And then we'd interview you then.
Can I just take you back to that psychometric test as well? That sometimes is a bit of a scary word, but it's really just to see whether those people, the person applying, would be suited to
would be suitable to working in our environment.
Yeah.
Yes, they're really customer focused, and it's the questions are asked on that, right? Because we are without customers we're nothing type of thing, right? So you've got to be customer friendly, customer led. We call it customer obsessed.
There's nothing wrong with that with the customer, certainly. Yeah, it's just, I think sometimes people hear, psychometric, but actually, if you don't pass that test, maybe that's just not the role for you. You potentially,
And that's correct. Yeah, there are people that a second time round can pass it type of thing. So there's no you can apply again. There's no problem that way.
That was a question from Olivia. She applied and she was not successful. You can apply at a later date.
Yes,
as well.
Yeah, no problem at all. But again, you'd have to, pass the psychometric test and it'd come through to us. Yes.
Fantastic. So, if I was going to pin you down then to the students are sat in school right now, hopefully watching this, if it's still booting up them, or I believe it is, what kind of 3 bullet points would you say? What are the things that would make them stand out and say, yeah, first of all, they're going to get a job with you if they pass that psychometric, if they're suited to you. And also the thing that's going to help them progress through. What are the 3 things? We'll just go back to
Well, it's all about teamwork. We develop people, and we'll develop your skills for the wider world later on, right? Because we don't expect everybody to stay with us, because some people may be doing a course in veterinary science. They're not going to come and be a vet at McDonald's type of thing, right?
Revive the burger.
Yeah, in that sense. But from that perspective, we can teach you a lot of skills, disciplines in terms of turning up on time, clean uniform, working with people, working as a team. So there's loads of taking direction. There's loads of things that we skills that although you won't know you're learning, you are. In that sense.
And then if they're moving on somewhere else, they've got something else.
They take those skills. The majority of people who, if they leave McDonald's, will easily get another job, because people respect people who've worked for McDonald's due to the environment that they work in, fast-paced and all that, working as a team, knowledgeable, taking on different aspects. You might be working fries one day, grill the next day type of thing. So they respect the training that you've been given.
It's fantastic. Well, it's always a pleasure talking to you, Jess, because you always have some interesting little stories. And hopefully you've got some real insights today into what it's like. One of our biggest employers, I would imagine, in the country. McDonald's is a huge number of people.
It's over 120,000.
120,000 people work in those, and there's always different roles within there. Great opportunities, particularly if you're wanting to gain that little experience when you're coming out of school, out of college, or alongside it even.
Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely fantastic. So always great to see you. Thank you for bearing with yet again. Next week, just watch. It'll be brilliant. There'll be lights. There'll be dancing in the background. There'll be all sorts of amazing things and titles flying in. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
There you go. I'm just going to kill that.